What is good, you guys? We are back with another video, and today, first, before I get into the actual topic, there have been a lot of news around my Mavs today with Luka Doncic and things like that. I'm not going to get too much into it because, honestly, I didn't read the article because I'm not paying to read an article on Athletic, but I got some of the footnotes and some of the big things on Twitter, and supposedly this Wolf of Wall Street guy is making moves in the organization, and it's not just Donnie Nelson. I don't know how Mark Cuban's letting that happen, but that's how I've been seeing it on Twitter. But people are overreacting and putting jersey swaps like this man is gonna leave next year. He's about to sign a supermax contract, and with some of these moves that I'm about to talk about in this video, we may be able to keep him and make him happy and build the right team around him. Because Luka Doncic is a winning player. He's a winning player, so he's not going for all this losing and stuff like that. So we need to make the right moves fast. He is gonna wait around. I don't think he's as patient as Dirk was. I think a lot of people just think just because Dirk did all this, Luka is. Nah, they're two different people. They're both stars, but they're two different people. But that's all I have to say on this situation. Today we're gonna be talking about 4 moves that we can make in this offseason to improve our team and to just get Kristaps out. 2 of the moves is really to get Kristaps out and get some younger guys in that can complement Luka and help us on the defensive side a little bit more. So that's what I got for you guys today. If you like this type of content, go ahead and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get right into it. JJ Redick and Nicolo Melli will be off the books for us next year, and those are the 2 guys I hope we don't resign. I hope we resign Boban because I just like him as a team. He seems like a cool guy around the locker room, and only made $3,500 this year. So I think that'll be fine if we can resign him. And Tim Hardaway Jr. is super big for our team, great shot maker, and I hope we can resign him. We may have to overpay him a little bit, but JJ Redick and Melli being off our books is pretty big for us. But the first signing I want to talk about is Richaun Holmes from the Sacramento Kings. Richaun Holmes is a decent scorer around the mid-range and paint area, and is a great rim protector, and that's something that we kind of missed last year. Although Boban is 7'4", he can't get off the floor, and he's not nimble, he's not mobile, anything like that. So I think I got like Richaun Holmes, although a little bit undersized against some of our other bigs that are on the team. He's big, he's strong, unlike some people that, you know what I'm talking about. He's big and strong. Yeah, I think he'll be a better post defender because we really don't have a post defender whatsoever. What if we had to go up against like Jokic or something? Like, who would have guarded Jokic? Like, although the center is not the most valuable position these days, you still need a guy that can guard that and be a strong physical guy, and he's also, like I said, a rim protector. So I think Richaun Holmes will be a very good pickup for us. I think his contract will be around $13 million. $13 million. I think it'll be somewhere around that. And I don't know why I said $3,500 for Boba. I'm tripping. I mean $3.5 million. That's my fault. Anyways, I think Richaun Holmes will be a very good person to slide into that starting center position. He can also be a decent roll threat going to the rim, and that's something we need around Luka Doncic. I think this spacing thing is super huge for this team, but we need some easy buckets. It feels like everything we do is shoot threes. Like Tim shoots threes. Dorian, that's all he be shooting for real because he's a corner specialist and a 3-and-D type of guy. Maxi Kleber don't get to the bucket. Nobody gets to the bucket besides maybe Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? So I know spacing is a big thing these days, but if we have 4 guys that can shoot and 1 guy inside, that's fine, man. It really is. It's fine. Jarrett Allen is the next guy that I want to talk about coming to this team, and this one will be a sign and trade for Jarrett Allen because he is a restricted free agent. And I think we can just trade for him. Like, no, like they can throw a real offer sheet, and I think the Cleveland Cavaliers will be very, very aggressive with keeping Jarrett Allen. But there have been reports that they are interested in Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know why any team is interested in Kristaps Porzingis, and I really don't. I mean, I guess he can be really good in the regular season for you, and those teams aren't really looking to make the playoffs, and he can grow, and he still has potential, But Jarrett Allen is the better player right now. I think Kristaps may have a bit more potential, but Allen is definitely the better player right now. See, I'm trying not to be in this recency bias space because Kristaps is a good player, right? He is. He doesn't have the right mind frame. He doesn't have the right play style for his size. If he can get into the lane and try to use his size a little bit more instead of just shooting these fadeaways over 6'2" guys at times and only want to shoot 40-foot, 30-foot threes, like if you don't do that and he just utilizes his size a little bit more, more, he'd be a really good player. But he just hasn't shown that, and time is ticking. Like I saw somebody say, this honeymoon phase with Luka is over. We need to start being more successful, you know what I'm saying? So with this trade, I feel like we can do that. And the trade would be Jared Allen and Kevin Love, because Kevin Love is a big contract and hasn't played at all for the Cavs. So I think it would be a relief off the Cavs franchise trying to get rid of him with a valuable piece. And Kristaps Porzingis and Josh Richardson as like a cap filler. That's the trade I have. It'd be a really good trade because also Josh Richardson was disappointing. But if they start building a little bit of a core, and Josh Richardson will probably get bought out because he's also still a decent veteran in this league. So he'll probably get bought out. But Kristaps is a good step in this core. You get a draft pick this year. Whoever you draft with that draft pick, you start building a little bit of a core, and you finally, you already had the big in Jared Allen, but now you have a shooting big that has potential to be a decent rim protector like Jared Allen was. So that is a really good trade for me. And man, I was talking, bro, Jared Allen would be a perfect role threat for Luka Doncic, man. Oh my goodness, you have 4 shooters around Luka Doncic. I was saying that we need our modern Tyson Chandler in that last video, and although he doesn't have the fire and things like that, he has the rim protector ability of kind of close to what Tyson Chandler was, you know what I'm saying? So if he can bring that ability to Dallas, that'd be great. And Kevin Love, if we can get him to play, he can be a great guy off the bench shooting wise. We were just talking about Kristaps. Although I did say that I think we utilize spacing a little bit too much, we still need shooting. A good power forward off the bench, and maybe if he plays good, he can start. Nah. He wouldn't start. A power forward, he's not good enough, defensive wise, to be a starting power forward. He'd definitely come off the bench for us. Shooting, that'd be great for our team if we can get those 2 players in the building. This trade involves 2 players that are disgruntled and underperformed in the playoffs when they played, in Kemba Walker's case. And Kristaps is not playing well throughout the whole series. Kemba ended up getting hurt, I think, at the end of the series, but didn't play great throughout, had his moments. But I think this will be a great trade for both sides. Supposedly, the Boston Celtics are also interested in Kristaps Porzingis. So 2 disgruntled players with 2 big contracts, I feel like that'd be a great swap. And maybe I'm being a little too aggressive with this add-on, but I feel that they're interested in Kristaps, right? We're not interested in Kemba. So maybe, just maybe, I don't know how untouchable Robert Williams is, but maybe if this Jared Allen thing doesn't work out, maybe a great add-on piece would be Robert Williams. He fits in the trade cap-wise. He has the potential, and Kristaps, the Boston Celtics are interested in Kristaps. We're not interested in Kemba. So maybe we can do something, you know what I'm saying? Work something out and get Robert Williams as a second player in that trade. And boy, oh boy, with that in my mind right now, without hindsight, that is a steal to me, you know what I'm saying? Robert Williams hasn't produced too much, but you can see the rim protector potential, 8 blocks in the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? But that also makes me think that he may be pretty close to being untouchable. I ain't gonna lie to you. He may be pretty close to being untouchable if they want Kristaps, and if they're interested in that, I think they should be a little bit more comfortable giving up a guy like Robert Williams. And if we can get Robert Williams and Kemba in that trade, although Kemba did have a bad playoffs, the biggest thing, our biggest need is just another ball handler, somebody that can take the ball out of Luka's hands, somebody that doesn't make Luka have to make every single play, playmaking wise and scoring wise. It feels sometimes Jalen Brunson has that potential, but if we can have somebody else in that starting lineup, because Tim Hardaway want to shoot it every time. Although Kemba is known as more of a scorer, he has become a little bit more of a facilitator throughout his later years, especially with the Celtics, along Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And also, he's just a great chemistry guy. He doesn't ask for too much, humble type of dude. So I think that'd be a really, really good trade for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, if we make this type of trade, we really need Tim Hardaway Jr. to stay so our defense can still be comparable, because Kemba and Luka is not a good defensive backcourt. So if we have Tim Hardaway in there, Timmy, then we have Dodo, and then we have maybe Jared Allen, Robert Williams, Rashawn Holmes. That'd be a really, really decent starting lineup, and the last 3, Timmy, Dodo, and whoever the center is, because all 3 of them are decent defensive centers. And Robert Williams and Jared Allen's case, great rim protectors. That'd be a decent backline of defense, but we'd have to work on it with Kemba and Luka. I think Luka, when he shows effort, he's a decent defender, but Kemba has always been a negative defender his whole entire career. So the defense may get worse a little bit, but like man, the ball handling and us needing another ball handler and somebody else that can create, I think is a little bit more valuable in this case. And this last signing would be my dream out of all four of these moves. The two of the trades have their cons, but man, if we can get this guy in the building, would it be a perfect fit by Luka Doncic, boy oh boy? And that is Kyle Lowry, man. Kyle Lowry, the defensive stuff that I just talked about with Kemba Walker is gone. Now the worst defender in the lineup is Luka Doncic, which is what happened, which was the case this last season. Now maybe with Boban in the lineup, Boban's the worst defender, but that is with that Kyle Lowry there. Oh my goodness, Luka is the worst defender in the lineup, and we have Kyle Lowry, Dorian. I guess if we sign Kyle Lowry, we don't trade Kemba. I guess we still have Kristaps and then whoever else is in the starting lineup. I guess Maxi Kleber or something like that. But that is a really, really good lineup with Kyle Lowry in it. He seems to always be really good with a wing. Especially in that championship with Kawhi Leonard, and is okay deferring scoring wise and just being that really, really good playmaker. And if Luka's struggling, Kyle Lowry can score as well, you know what I'm saying? People may think he's starting to get old, but when he played last year, I think he still averaged 20 and 6. He's a leader, he's a dog, man. He'd be such a good fit by Luka Doncic. Kemba has his cons, you know what I'm saying? With his defense and with Luka's defense, that's a little bit of a con, but if we can have he's not as good as Kemba on offense, like just shot creation wise, but he's a really good catch and shoot guy. He can create it on shot at times. He's a really, really good playmaker. He can get to the bucket, and he's a great defender. Like, bro, that's a perfect fit. This can be like the last little stop of his career. He can help us hopefully build a championship team in the next 2 or 3 years, because a guy like that is just a leader. That's the type of guy you need in your locker room, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to bring it all on the floor. And we just need guys like that next to Luka. It just doesn't seem that we have any dogs right now, you know what I'm saying? It feels like Luka, I don't know, Dorian Finney-Smith maybe because he's like, he fights and he's a great defender, but we need something like that, but like a credibility throughout the league. You know what I'm saying? Dorian Finney-Smith, an undrafted guy, he's had this, like, he's still building his name in the league. Kyle Lowry has already built his name. He has a championship, and if we get him, that is the right step, and that is the right step in the right direction. But I promise, that's one good step in the right direction, and we just need those, and we need those. And if Luka keeps improving and his conditioning keeps getting better and stuff like that, and we have Kyle Lowry, and he's still the same player that he is, that's a great backcourt. And now we just need Tim Hardaway to be kind of what he was last year at the end. Not at the end of the season. I'm not expecting for him to be what he was at the end of the season, because that is like a borderline all-star with stuff he was doing. But like, just be consistent. Kristaps, get a little bit better. Maxi, start getting into your shot back, because at the end of the season he was in a whole shooting slump. And Dorian Finney-Smith, keep being the guy you are, and Jalen Brunson, keep growing off the bench. If we get Kyle Lowry, that's a perfect fit, bro, and he fits right into what we're trying to do here. That's a dream, though, you know what I'm saying? Although it is really possible, I hope it happens. I'm just a little bit nervous that I'm a little bit nervous that he either resigns in Toronto or goes to another contending team. But boy, oh boy, in Dallas, man, if we get him, that'd be a perfect fit. Alright, man, those are the 4 moves that we can do to improve this Dallas Mavs team that are realistic, you know what I'm saying? DeMar DeRozan is something he's seen float around, but he's a wing that is not a great shooter. I don't know how that fits with Luka Doncic. I think any guard that is around Luka Doncic, I think needs to be able to shoot, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's the greatest move. That's not why I didn't put it in here, but those are the 4 moves I think could help our team improve by a little bit. But if you like this type of content, go ahead, sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.